is full, but feels like stone. No voices stick, no laughter stays. I speak and hear my words dissolve into the quiet hallway haze. I call your name just to pretend that maybe walls will answer back, but all they do is stare me down with paint that's chipped and corners black. This house remembers better days. Now silence owns the right to stay. These walls that never echo keep secrets I can't bear to hold. They watched you leave, they watched me break. Now they just hum in quiet cold. I speak, I scream, I bend so low, but nothing lives in walls that echo. I moved the chair, but left your cup still sitting where you used to read. I try to clean, but always stop. Like even dust knows what I need. The clock still ticks, but not for me. It mocks the hours I replay. I'd rather noise than this dry hush, where every step just fades away. I close my eyes and beg for sound, but only stillness gathers around. These walls that never echo are filled with ghosts I can't explain. They know the weight of what I lost. They whisper back a different name. I talk and hope the room might show, but I'm alone with no echo. The quiet speaks in sharper tones. It finds the marrow in my bones. And though I live, I never grow inside these walls that never echo. You wore my sweater out last night, the navy one with fraying threads. I saw it stretched across his arm as he leaned in too close to red. You laughed like nothing could go wrong, but lies wear cotton just the same. That jacket held my quiet love, now branded with another's name. I stitched that sleeve with every vow, but now it hugs someone else now. The truth was on your shoulder, too close to miss, too sharp to lie. A borrowed warmth, a thread of sin, a traitor's flag beneath the sky. You wore me out, and now it's colder with the truth on your shoulder. passing friend, a face you barely knew at all. But photos don't protect the lies that play like shadows down the hall. I saw the fold, the wrinkle bend, the way your arms had held him tight. The sweater hung with secret weight and broke my chest in plain daylight. You said it's nothing, soft and fast, but fabric doesn't lie that fast. The truth was on your shoulder. It wore your guilt in silent thread. You walked with pride but left behind the kind of love already dead. Now I stay numb, a little older, from truth you wore upon your shoulder. I won't reclaim what you let go. You dressed deceit in my old glow, but every stitch became a boulder when I saw truth on your shoulder. I won't reclaim what you let go. You dressed deceit in my old glow, but every stitch became a boulder when I saw truth on your shoulder. It started with a sudden rain. You shared your space without a word. We walked so close yet far apart. With every step my heart was stirred. The colors swirled against the storm. Your laughter soft, a fleeting spell. I almost spoke, I almost tried, but silence held me just as well. You asked me once if I was cold. I nodded, scared of being bold. Underneath the blue poured down, my courage broke, while raindrops danced on every joke. I let it pass, a tale to tell of love I drowned beneath that shell. We reached the gate, your hair was damp. You turned and smiled, then stepped away. The drops rolled down the frame, regret beginning its slow sway. You never knew what burned inside, what every pause had tried to say. That one small walk, that gentle storm still rains on me most every day. A simple roof we once had shared now shelters words I never dared. Underneath the blue umbrella, I lost my voice, became a shell. You hummed a song, I held my breath, afraid to risk a quiet death. The chance was there, I wore it well, then let it go, too scared to yell. said it all. Typed a message late last night, just something small to say I'm here, but never hit that final send, afraid of what you wouldn't hear. I've drafted thoughts 100 times, then watched them vanish off the screen. It's easier to let them fade than prove again we're in between. My words feel weightless, lost in air, so I just leave them hanging there. Unread messages, stacked like letters in the dark. You never saw the things I said, and maybe never felt the spark. I tried to reach, I tried my best, but I'm alone in every text. You post and laugh and smile with friends, but never ask how I have been. I scroll and wonder what we had, and if I'm somewhere deep within. A simple hi feels much too loud, too brave for what you now ignore. So I just keep my words on hold and leave them sitting by the door. You didn't block, you didn't stay. You just let silence lead the way. Unread messages, little ghosts I won't delete. They haunt my screen like promises, still waiting where we used to be. You turned your back, I lost the thread, and found myself where words stay dead. Maybe you scroll past my name, but I still write you just the same. And though you never hit reply, I speak to you in every try. Maybe you scroll past my name, but I still write you just the same. And though you never hit reply, I speak to you in every try. Unsent, typed late at night, erased by dawn. Each message starts with your old name, then fades before it's fully drawn. I scroll through drafts that never flew, like bottled tears in pixel jars. I almost told you I still ache, but silence hides the deeper scars. My thumbs would shake, my screen would glow, but fear still makes me let it go. Unsent messages remain, a gallery of quiet pain. You never saw how close like it was sin. Another said I never healed, but I erased it all again. The truth is heavy in my hands, and you're too far to even see. So I just type what I can't scream, and drown the words that set me free. I still compose, then disappear. Each word a weight I couldn't clear. Unsent messages remain, like paper ships in endless rain. I never dared to hit send now. Just wrote to feel you near somehow, and so I live with ghostly chains of love unsent and aching veins. One day I'll write, then press it through, but not today. I'm not that true. So here they sit, untouched and raw. These words for you, you never saw. We'd return to more. You strummed the chords, I hummed along, but we left notes behind the door. The melody still haunts my head. The rhymes we started stuck like thread, but life got loud and time grew fast, and suddenly the ink went dead. I found the page just yesterday, still creased the same, still tucked away. But we left the song half finished, with chords that never found their close. The lines that once were rich with hope now echo back in minor tones. A melody that won't diminish, still hums from songs left half finished. Your coffee ring stain stanza 2, where I had written don't let go. You laughed and said it made it art, but now it's just a bruise I show. The pen we used dried out last year, but still I hold it now and then. I try to write the second verse, but don't know how the words should end. A bridge without your voice feels weak, like silence swallowed what we speak. We left the song half finished, still hanging in my quiet room. It plays an air I cannot break, it waits where ghosts and music bloom. I'd sing it now, but I'd diminish what we once were, half unfinished. If you still play the chords out there, I hope you hum what we still share. You know this heart is not diminished. It beats for songs we left unfinished. looked at me like all was fine, but I could see your gaze drift left. And though I smiled and played along, inside I felt the quiet theft. You weren't alone in what you hid. I hid my knowing deep inside. We both were actors on the stage, a broken play we tried to ride. You lied to me, I lied as well, and called it love so we could dwell. We lied together, held hands across a hollow space, pretended we were still alive while wearing masks we couldn't face. We didn't speak, we just endeavored to keep it whole as we lied together. I saw his name light up your phone. You saw me glance but said no word, and I just nodded, turned away as if the truth was too absurd. You wore his scent, I wore regret. We danced in rooms we used to bless, but every step was something fake, a waltz in wedding emptiness. I took your lie, you took mine too, both of us just pushed it through. We lied together beneath the sheets that used to burn. We whispered nothing, closed our eyes, and hoped the guilt would never turn. But love can't breathe in ties that tether, so we fell slow as we lied together. We faked it all to save the past, but lies don't hold, they never last. Now even silence wears a tether from all the nights we lied together. We lied together. We lied together beneath the sheets that used to burn. We whispered nothing, closed our eyes, and hoped the guilt would never turn. But love can't breathe in ties that tether, so we fell slow as we lied together. As we lied together. We lied together. We lied together. There's a space beside me every night, cold and wide like empty seas. I don't move much to that side, still scared of brushing memories. Your pillow holds a sunken shape, a ghost pressed into feathered grief. I reach for you in half awake and fall into disbelief. I close my eyes and dream too deep of where you used to breathe and sleep, where you used to sleep. I close my eyes and dream too deep of where you used to breathe and sleep, where you used to sleep. Now loneliness has made its claim. The sheets don't hold your warmth at all, just echoes calling out my name. next to where you used to sleep. The fan still hums above my head. It used to drown your nighttime fears. Now all it does is spin the dust and sweep away the yesteryears. Your book is open to the page you last read with a sleepy grin. I can't bring myself to close it. It's the only place you've ever been. The bed's too wide, the light too cheap. Without you here to dream or weep. Where you used to sleep is now the quiet I can't bear. I curl up close and face the wall. Pretend your hand still lingers there. But emptiness runs dark and deep in the place where you used to sleep. I talk to air and kiss the night and hope you feel me through the light. But nothing answers, nothing keeps except the spot where no one sleeps. Where no one sleeps. I pulled into the driveway slow and saw the curtain shift too fast. You used to meet me with a smile, but now the windows don't hold past. A shadow crossed, then quickly fled, a shape I'd never seen before. You said you stayed inside all night, but glass can't fake what it adores. You kissed me soft and turned away. But windows spoke what lips won't say. Windows never lie, they show the truths we try to hide. A flicker here, a movement there, where strangers slip and lovers slide. You drew the blinds but not the sky, and I saw more than your goodbye. Porch light stayed a little dim, like shame had dulled its golden hue. You told me you just watched TV, but silence shook the night in two. Your story cracked in every breath, each word a pain about to break. You swore the house held only you, but lies have shapes no dark can fake. You pulled the curtain shut, the scene, but truth shone through the in-between. Windows never lie, they held the shape he left behind. I saw the outline in the glass, a silhouette you hoped was blind. You blamed the wind, the street, the sky, but love can see what won't comply. Next time you hide behind the shade, remember glass remembers fate. And no excuse, no alibi can fight the eyes that window spy. laughing through the glass, a light I never got to hold. You brushed your hair behind your ear, and time stood still, a breath gone cold. I memorized the way you stood, the way your fingers touched your sleeve, but I just nodded, turned away, too scared to stay, too weak to leave. You never knew the things I kept, a love unspoken, softly slept. These are the words I never let fall, echoes trapped behind a wall, a smile too wide, a step too near, but silence wrapped around my fear. You walked away, I watched it all, and kept the truth too small to call. You told me once you liked my laugh, I joked and let the moment slide, but deep inside I built a room where every smile of yours could hide. I watched you chase another dream and kissed your name inside my mind. You never heard a single word, but I was yours in quiet bind. The chances passed, the pages turned, and every silence still returns. These are the words I never let fall, unwritten songs too soft to scrawl. You danced so close I froze again, a prisoner in my quiet pen. I let you go, then took the fall for loving you with no one to call. Speak them now when no one's near. In empty rooms I name the year, and though you'll never hear them said, they haunt the space where love once bled. Gave with pride, a silver band, a promise clear. But then you held his hand last night and kept it on like I'm not here. You smiled like nothing ever changed, like oaths were just some game to play. But I saw truth in how he touched the hand I kissed just yesterday. A vow means more than simple gold, unless your heart is bought and sold. You wore my ring without a name, as if it held no weight at all. A circle made to seal our truth, now bent beneath betrayal's call. You kept it on to hide the shame, but it screamed loud without my name. I took it back, you didn't flinch, just shrugged and turn the other way, like every moment, every word could vanish in a single day. It's strange how love can look so strong, then vanish with a single glance. The ring meant forever to me. To you it meant another chance. I gave you truth in metal thin. You gave it back, soaked in your sin. You wore my ring without a name, like it belonged to someone else. You kissed him with it on your hand, then smiled at your broken self. You left the love, you kept the frame, but never wore my rightful name. Now it sits inside a drawer, a silent vow I can't restore, and every glance just fans the flame of what you wore without my name. Without my name. We shared a class, a desk, a glance, but never shared what might have grown. I tried to speak 1,000 times and always left the words unknown. Your notebook filled with perfect lines, while mine just held your name and blur. I'd sit and watch you from my seat, too far to reach, too close to stir. Slow, you didn't see, or maybe chose to let it be. You looked right through me, like I was made of passing air. I smiled small and nodded slow, but you were always unaware. I kept my place in history, a ghost beside your mystery. Across the hall, the bell had rung. You brushed my arm and said excuse. I froze in place, my voice fell flat, a chance I didn't dare to use. Your voice was light, your pace was sure, while I just faded with the crowd. I turned around, you disappeared, and left my silence screaming loud. So many ways I could have tried, but every brave breath simply died. You looked right through me, and I became what no one named, the boy who held a quiet flame, yet never dared to play the game. I watched you live so vividly, while I stayed still, invisibly. See an old yearbook and maybe pause for one soft look, but I'll remain a silent plea, a heart you passed unknowingly. And I became what no one names, the boy who held a quiet flame, yet never dared to play the game. I watched you live so vividly while I stayed still, invisibly. One day you'll see an old yearbook and maybe pause for one soft look, but I'll remain a silent plea, a heart you passed unknowingly. Fail, a silver band, our silent bond. But then I saw your naked hand and knew what lies you'd built upon. You laughed it off, said just forgot, but fingers don't forget like that. You slipped it off when truth was near and left your promises flat. That band once shone with something real. Now all it holds is what you steal. You took off your ring before you crossed that broken line. You left it here with all the vows you wore so well when you were mine. You didn't speak, you didn't cling, you just walked out and dropped our ring. I found it resting on the sink beside your watch and other lies. And suddenly the silence roared like something sacred vaporized. You used to twist it when you thought now someone else holds all that space. And in your hands where I once lived, you carry shame you can't erase. A ring can't hide what's gone to dust, but taking it off broke the trust. You took off your ring like it was weighing down your skin. You let the past fall to the floor, then let another stranger in. And though you swore it meant a thing, you left behind a worthless ring. Now it lies cold and out of place, a loop of love you can't replace. And every time it starts to sting, I wear the truth. You took off your ring. You took off your ring. I wrote your name in the margin lines where no one else would ever see. Tucked between the day's events, a hidden truth you meant to me. I sketched your face in faded ink, then closed the page beside me every day, but never knew I felt that way. Your name in my journal, where silence writes in circles, a quiet place where you still live, in moments I refuse to give. No hearts, no lines that turn eternal, just longing, soft and internal. Watched you fall for someone else and nodded like it didn't burn, but every laugh and careless glance tore at pages I couldn't turn. The bell would ring, we'd pack our things, you'd wave and say, see you around, and I would hide what stayed unsaid in ink that made no sound. You never asked and I stayed still, a prisoner to what I feel. Your name in my journal, a truth too small, too personal. The lines I wrote with shaking hand are maps you'll never understand. Still I return with breath nocturnal to the name forever eternal. You'll never read the things I wrote, each syllable a fragile note, but in those pages you still glow. In quiet ink, you'll never know. Chance today, and there it was, your soft perfume, the same you wore when love was young, now floating in a stranger's room. I stood there caught in disbelief, your echo playing in the seat. You told me you just needed space, but found it fast beneath deceit. I never saw you slip that far till I smelled you in his car. Your perfume in his car was louder than 1,000 lies. It stained the air like secret wounds, like promises in cheap disguise. You drove away and left a scar still lingering inside his car. You always said you hated games, but now I see the rules were yours. While I was clinging to the truth, you danced through someone else's doors. You wore the grin you used to love, you wore the guilt I didn't see, but now the scent betrays the bond and chokes the last of what's in me. It didn't need a single word, the damage bloomed from what I heard. Your perfume in his car still burns like something left to rot. You changed the lane, you changed the face, but couldn't hide the love you caught. It wrecked us both, you went too far with your perfume in his car. You wore a smile, I wore the blame, but now the air reveals your game. No truth survives behind that bar where you left love in someone's car. as I stayed quiet one floor down. You laughed about the weekend trip, unaware I was still around. I almost climbed, I almost knocked, but froze beneath the exit light. You never knew that I was near, a secret lost in silent night. Your footsteps echoed like a bell, still ringing where I dared not dwell. Your voice on Stairwell was softer than you meant to be. I caught your joy without your glance, a stolen piece of happenstance. You never knew, you couldn't tell, but I was there and loved you well. The air was thick with autumn dust, your boots clacked sharp along the stone. You paused, you sighed, you turned again, and I just stood there all alone. I wrote your name across the rail, then wiped it off before I fled. You moved on light and unaware of all the words I never said. It took one breath to disappear, and leave behind what stayed unclear. Your voice in the stairwell still lingers in the walls unseen, a whisper wrapped in hallway grace that time and fear refused to chase. I listened once, then broke the spell and let you pass with love unwell. If stairs could talk, they'd speak my part, the trembling steps, the muted heart. You rose above without farewell, while I stayed still in that stairwell. I asked you where you'd been last night. You blinked and gave a quiet smile. Your words came soft, your tone was smooth, but truth was buried in your style. You didn't stammer, didn't shake, you looked me straight into the light, but silence sat behind each word, like someone left the door ajar. You spoke like nothing slipped or cracked, but I heard pain you never tracked. Your voice said nothing, but everything was loud in you. The way you paused, the way you breathed, revealed the lies you filtered through. You answered clear, but not convincing. Your voice said calm, but it was sinking. Though you stayed, I kept on bluffing while you said love, but meant nothing. Behind the glass, where people laugh and touch and run, they hold their hands in gentle ways and blink beneath the same old sun. But on this side the air is thick, too quiet for a soul to bloom. I wave, but no one sees me here. Just one more shape and one more room. My face against the light, but all I feel is what's not right. Through the window pane, I see a life I used to live, where love was more than silent nights, and I still had the heart to give. But now I watch, but don't remain, just breathing Windowpane. They walk by fast, then slow, then gone. Umbrellas bloom and jackets spin. A child points up at something bright, a world I've locked myself within. You once stood there just past the rail, but now your steps don't pass this view. I trace your outline on the fog, but no one's there to trace it to. The glass divides the cold and fire, it leaves me numb with no desire. Through the window pane, I keep my smile but let it fade. I hope they see me one day soon and knock the walls that I have made. But till that day, I just remain a shadow framed by Windowpane. The view is wide, the life is loud, but I just breathe beneath the shroud. And if they ask, I'll still explain, I'm fine behind my Windowpane. Just breathe beneath the shroud, and if they ask, I'll still explain, I'm fine behind my Windowpane. You leaned so close, I caught your breath, but still I never crossed the line. The moment begged for something true, but I kept quiet like it was mine. You asked me once what I believed. I almost told you, almost broke, but swallowed every single vow and smiled behind a dying joke. I held them in, too scared to fall, and bit back tender to explain. We stayed out late that winter night. You traced your finger through the frost. I watched it melt with every move, like all the chances that I lost. You joked about the stars above. I nodded, barely breathing in. You turned to speak and I just froze, too scared of where that truth had been. You smiled and said I seemed okay. I bit my tongue and looked away. The words I bit backed up too deep, and now they echo in my sleep. They haunt the corners of my face, where silence stole the warmest place. I held them long past every track. Those words I never gave you back. They linger now when nights are still, a way too large for time to kill. And though you never saw the crack, I bled in silence, holding back. I held them long past every track. Those words I never gave you back. The trees outside are standing strong, but one leaf trembles in the wind. It moves like I did when you left, afraid to break, but near the end I watched you drift without a pause, while I stayed rooted in the cold. You changed your season overnight, while I just wilted growing old. You let me shake and fall apart, while I stayed rooted in the cold. You changed your season overnight, while I just wilted growing old. You let me shake and fall apart, then left me clinging to my heart. I tremble like a leaf, still hanging on when I should fall. Your storm came quiet, not with rage, but stripped my color, cracked it all. I beg the wind to bring relief, but all it does is make me grieve. You always said I felt too much, too quick to bruise, too slow to mend. But love's not brave if it won't shake, and hearts don't grow unless they bend. I stayed through drought, I stayed through snow, I held my place through every loss. But when you left, my spine gave in, and I collapsed beneath the frost. You flew like leaves in full release, while I still beg for wind to cease. I tremble like a leaf, not strong enough to float or land. in grief. I may fall soon, I know it's near, but not before I drop this tear. For love that left without a brief and broke a soul that trembled leaf.